return to normal life after a weekend at a festival is never easy. This past weekend, I took the family to Welcome to Rockville, which, if you are unaware, is one of the largest rock music festivals in the country. Held in the infield of the Daytona Speedway, 4 days, 250,000 people. It's mental. While I only attended 2 of the 4 days, I did have the privilege to experience the festival from every angle. So not only will we be doing a recap of this past year, I'm going to try to break down the difference in general admission, VIP, and the Dallas Owners Club. I was able to go Saturday and Sunday, and my experience was a little bit weird because I was able to experience every single level of the festival, mainly and thanks to a friend that was playing the festival this weekend. Now, I don't want this video to come off as me bragging. I've been going to concerts for over 25 plus years. I've had friends in touring bands. I've worked on tours. I've worked in venues. I just got very lucky with the situation this past weekend. So after 2 days of music, sweat, chaos, thunderstorms, overpriced food, and some incredible live performances, I think I finally figured out which ticket would be worth it for myself as well as for possibly you for next year. Now, if I wasn't able to get this incredible hookup, I would be just like you, where I would be deciding between general admission, VIP, or the Dallas Owners Club. General admission tickets, they sell them individual, they sell 4-day packs. They also have student discounts. Check out the student discounts. Try to see if you can get a student discount. Believe me, it's worth it. Some of the hardships of general admission is you are dealing with porta potties, you are dealing with Florida heat, you are dealing with the elements, you are dealing with the weather. Bang for the buck. Completely transparent, I'm probably going to go again next year depending on the lineup. I would be more than fine with a general admission ticket. Now, for all my fancy friends watching at home, VIP is an additional step up over general admission. So you get everything that you would. You can experience everything in the general admission side of the festival. There was also 2 separate VIP sections on either side of the festival grounds. They had their own separate shaded bar and lounge areas that were covered. They had separate food lines, so there was less of a wait for food. They also had air-conditioned private bathrooms. Now, there's still portable bathrooms. I can't stress that enough. So my issue with the VIP upgrade, from my experience with it, is there were some private bathrooms, but there were also porta potties. If you're going to charge a premium for a VIP experience, you should have nothing but private portable bathrooms. Saturday, I went by myself. I hung out with some friends basically in the GA areas the entire day. Sunday, I had my family with me, so my wife and my daughter. Obviously, they don't want to use the porta potties, so they were taking advantage of the VIP bathrooms. Even they noticed that there was crazy long lines in VIP because not all of the bathrooms were these private air-conditioned bathrooms. There was like a handful of them and then porta potties. If you're hearing me, if you're helping plan this event, if you're charging for a VIP experience, take a page out of the most recent iteration of the Warped Tour. We went to Warped Tour in Orlando. When we were going into the VIP areas, all of those bathrooms were the same style bathrooms. They were all private air-conditioned bathrooms. If you're gonna charge for VIP, give us a little bit of a cleaner bathroom. So again, the biggest thing that VIP is going to give you, in theory, nicer bathrooms. It's also going to give you more shaded spaces. So really, what are you paying for? You're paying for the ability to just kind of recover and reset. I only went to 2 days and I was wiped. If you're going for all 4 days, maybe something to consider. Finally, we have the Daytona Owners Club. Think of this as like an airport lounge that is wedged inside of a massive music festival. It's everything you get in GA, everything you get in VIP. You can go in all of those areas. You also have a separate area, which is, so there's a VIP on one side of the festival, VIP on the other. The Dallas Owners Club was an additional separated area by the main stage, I guess would be the best way to describe it, where all the headliners played at the end of every night. It was by that stage. So aside from everything you get in VIP, you also are going to get free food and beverage. You're also going to get a separate entrance and parking. You get like golf carted to the venue. I don't drink. So while yes, Music festival food is expensive. It doesn't make sense for me to spend that much money for airport lounge food and drinks. For me personally, for next year, I'm probably just gonna go with the GA tickets. Those are plenty fine for me. So someone that has been going to festivals for over 20 years, worked music festivals, worked at venues, worked with bands, the whole shebang. Let's talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. So for me, the one thing that like genuinely shocked me was how relaxed the security was at all of the entrance points. I appreciate it. They got through the queue very quickly, but when I came Saturday, I jokingly was going to try to bring in a bag of Taco Bell. I assumed right as I approached the gate that they would make me throw it out. At minimum, they would go through the bag and see that it was food. No one even looked in that bag or the crossbody bag I was wearing. I'm sure I set off a metal detector because I had a camera on me. Nobody even stopped me. I just walked right in and pretty much everyone seemed to get forced right through the line. So that was a little unnerving. I will say, like, all in all, I felt safe. I didn't feel like there was a danger, but definitely thought that the security could have maybe just been a little bit more stringent on how they search people at the gate. Saturday, I brought in Taco Bell, and Sunday, I brought in Bricks and Bowls, which if you haven't been, Taco Bell, yeah, Bricks and Bowls in Orlando. The other downside, which you can't avoid, is just the fact that, again, it's in a very cool venue, but it is outside in May in Florida. So not only is it going to be crazy hot when the weather is perfect, on the 2 days that I went, there was rain delays on both Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday had like a 2-hour rain delay, Sunday had like a 5-hour rain delay. It was insane. Definitely sucks having that festival in Florida outside in May. I don't know what it looks like, but if I had it my way, I would have them put that thing on in like February, but we'll see. On the positive side, the bang for your buck, the amount of bands that you're going to see for the cost of a ticket, while we look at the modern cost of concerts continuing to rise, I will say incredible value for the amount of bands that you can see in one single day or all 4 days. Saturday was insane. I got to see A Day to Remember play a secret set. So they were originally co-headlining on Sunday. About 2 hours before it happened, they announced that they were playing a secret set. They played on a small stage, probably one of the smallest stages I've ever seen them play on. It was awesome. If you're even remotely a fan of that band, that was a very, very, very cool moment. Getting to see A Day to Remember play such a small stage at a festival felt surreal. It was like, not only were we taking a time machine back to listen to an album from 2012, we also experienced something from 2012. That was super cool. After that, I watched Nekrogoblikon, which, if you are unfamiliar, it is one of the most insane metal bands with a actual goblin in the band. It's a real thing. Google it. They're awesome. Then, right after, Waka, Flocka, Flame, because, of course, you know, fit right in. Shout out to my new best friend, Waka, Mr. Flame. Appreciate you. Genuinely one of the nicest dudes. Had no business being so kind. Then I watched DevilDriver. Then the festival went down for the rain delay.
Attention. Severe weather is approaching. Calmly proceed to the nearest exit.
And then closed out my night while watching Lamb of God. Awesome set. Lamb of God crushed. Sunday took an emotional turn, man. The emo kid in me came out. Sunday I got to bring my family, so I had my wife and my daughter with me. It was awesome. We watched Underoath. We watched All Time Low. We watched Yellowcard. We watched Hatebreed. A Day to Remember play their co-headlining set, and then we got to watch My Chemical Romance. Highlight of the night, one of two. Seeing A Day to Remember perform to what we could consider a home crowd. Being able to watch that from the stage was something special. Also got to watch My Chemical Romance with my daughter, who is now, if you've been watching, old enough to drive. It was really surreal to watch a band that I was about her age when I started listening to them. One of the first times I saw them play was in the 2007 Warped Tour in New Jersey right after they launched Three Cheers. So to now see them almost 20 years later with my now teenage child who's singing along, that was awesome. So seeing that and being able to kind of experience all that with the wife and kid was really cool. So in closing, is it worth it? Fuck yeah, it is. If you are even remotely into any of the bands on the festival, get your tickets, go, hell of a time. 10 for 10, would recommend. If you had to ask me if I would choose the D.O.C, the Daytona Owner Club, the VIP ticket, or the GA ticket, I'm going GA next year. I don't see a value in either of the two tiers. Me personally, GA is the way to go. If you can't hear it, I'm still recovering. The downside of festivals is I'm recovering from the festival funk. I got a nice little head cold. That was awesome. If you're trying to figure out who my friends were that played that weekend, you're probably thinking like, oh, hey, he said he's really nice. Probably Waka Flocka Flame. Maybe it was a day to remember. Maybe it was them. You saw them play twice. Or maybe it was a fucking goblin. Maybe it was a goblin. Maybe I'm friends with the goblin. Doesn't matter. Like and subscribe. If you like what you see, like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.